All right, so we are live, and we are good to go for reviewing La Vie en Rose, and we'll go through levels 1 and 2. And Shirley, you have your own wildfire today? I was reading about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I sure hope you guys are staying safe there. It's been a crazy season, hey? Just a crazy season for wildfires. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the level 1 version that I have of La Vie en Rose. Lori, all this information is available on my website. Did you know about getting the stuff off my website? No? Okay, so what I'll do is, right off the bat, what I'm going to do is just post the image as a link in the chat so you can grab it. I think I can do this. Okay, so that's level 1 that I'll be looking at. And what I'll do, just so you've got that right away, and then I'll put the link to Sunday Ukulele there. All right. And then we'll get going, and then I'll post, and you'll be able to get the link for the level 2 version of this song as well, right in there. Now, apologies, you guys, I'm sitting on my regular office chair, and I'm kind of a wiggler, so I'm going to try to be still, but it can be hard for me. All right. So La Vie en Rose, level 1, just to go through it all to make sure we know what's going on. And this is like a good question and answer time too, okay, for you guys. We've got the song in the key of C, so we use our C major scale for it. It's primarily just the open C major scale. There is that transitional part where we do barring on the 5th fret, right? Okay, so to go through what we have on that page of La Vie en Rose, we've got our C major scale. So let's just play that open C major scale. We'll do 2 plucks per note, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the C major scale, so open. And then 2nd fret of that 3rd string, 2nd string open, 1st fret, 3rd fret on that 2nd string, 1st string open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. Now right back down to the 2nd fret, and then open, 3rd fret on your 2nd string, 1st fret, then open. Now 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then open. Okay, so that's the main part of the melody. Again, we go and do the barring as well, right? The rhythm that tends to keep coming back in this song is also listed at the top of that level 1 page. And I'll share the page with us in a little bit, but it's just a matter of kind of tuning ourselves into it. The rhythm that we keep having is ta, ti, 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 ti. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or slower, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you'll see that rhythm at the beginning of the first 3 lines of the song. The first 3 bars of each one of those 3 lines has that same rhythm. Although the notes change, the rhythm remains the same. So I love analyzing songs. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet or not, but I just love it. I feel like I really dig in and get to know the song. Rhythm does change in that 4th line, so we just address that one more as we go, right? And that's a more of a syncopated rhythm on those first 3 bars. And then we come back to that main rhythm again. On the last line of the song. So now what I'm going to do is just sit and play it, then I'll share it and play it again with the screen shared. So there we go. So this is just level 1, so just a straight melody. Now for people that are used to playing this with me, play along. Or maybe you say to yourself, I just want to play the chords and strum behind Tina. or you want to finger pick it. Do as you wish. Okay, have fun with it. All right, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and next line up to your 5th fret. Now that's outside of that scale. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 next line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5th position and 2 and 3 4 and 1 and 2. Julie, there's a boo-boo in the sheet music right there, that 3rd fret on the 1st string. Oh, Julie knows. Lori's the one that needs to know this. 3rd fret on the 2nd string instead of 3rd fret on the 1st string. Okay, so that's you'll see that coming up in the music there. I'm going to start that part again in the 5th position and play it and make note of where that changes. 1 and 2 and 3 4 and 1 and 2 3rd fret the 2nd string, even though it's written on the 1st string. Okay, back up. 3 4 and 1 2 and 3 4. Last line. I love slowing down there. Now, I share the screen and we do a play along adventure. Lots of folks have probably already shared or played along with me, but now we've got the screen set up there. And we'll play through. And just I haven't had time to put up the proper copy. That's why I wanted to make note of that. Line 4, where I've highlighted that little 3 there, that's the one that needs to be on the 2nd string instead. Okay. I must have a sip of coffee, and then I will play this again. Now, I propose that what we do at the end of this time is we do the fancy ending. That little fancy pants thing that I showed you guys to do last week, where you play your 3rd string open, 2nd string open, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and go on up to that 8th fret, and then hit that 3rd string open. Do you guys remember that from last week? I know Larry's got it going on because we were hanging out and I heard him practice it. It was so good. Ah! All right. So I think that what we'll do, just for fun, right, is toss it in. We'll let the final melody note ring out. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, take our time, and then we'll add in this little flourish at the end. And at the end, what I'll do is I'll try to move my hand closer to the screen so you can watch what I'm doing. All right, here we go. We'll start nice and chill with this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next line, up in 5 3 2 0 1 3 2 0 3 1 2 2. Do you guys remember what I said about the 1 2 2 there? Where if you hold it down, it makes a lovely little G7 chord. Just as I do this review, I feel like I want to make note of that there, right? Right there. If you hold down your fingers on those notes after you've played them, 1, 2, 2. You can just, if you're playing the melody at the level 1 version, you can do that and just, it adds such a lush sound. All right, let's start that line over again. Right back on that 5th fret. And then if you can, try to hold down your fingers after you play them and just slowly build that G7 chord shape there. All right, here we go on fret 5. The beginning of that line. 3 and 4 and 5. 3, 2, 0, 1, 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 2, 2, 0, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 3. Let's talk about the technique I used with the 1, 1, 2, 2 part as we do this review. So when I'm playing this in the level 1 version, the ones there, I just bar on that 1st fret. So I do that and then I just slide that bar up to the 2nd fret. As I'm playing there, you don't have to do this. I just want you to know what I'm doing. So that's how I'm approaching those melody notes there as my chair bounces around here. All right, next line. Ready? 3 and 4 and 3. And here we go, and 5, 5, 8, 5, 5, 8, 5, 5, 8, 2nd string 3, back up, 5, 5, 8, 5, 5, 8, 5, 5, 8, 7, 5, next line, here we go. And ready for the fancy ending? We just take your time, do it all free. 3rd string open, 2nd string open, 3rd fret, little glissando up to that 8th fret, let it ring out. Oh, look at the vibrato! 3rd string open. It gives such a fancy ending to a song. It's so cool. All right, I want you guys to take a minute, go through this, take a look at it, see if you have any questions about this level 1 version, and then we're going to hop over into level 2. So I'll just leave it up on the screen. Take some time, practice it if you need to. While I have some coffee. In terms of technical things that you guys have gotten out of just playing this level 1 version, analyzing the melody, I think, is really worthwhile so that you can really focus on that as you add in extra parts around it. If you've been working on barring on the 1st fret up to the 2nd fret, that's a nice place to work on that barring technique in a pretty low pressure kind of way. And you don't have to bar there. Oh, yeah,
the 3rd bar on the 2nd line there. Yeah. What is the fingering? What's the fingering you put on that? That one there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what I do, I'll get good and close to the screen when I play it and just show you the fingering I use. So the way I approach it is I've got my open, and then on that 3rd fret, I'm using my 3rd finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, there, I'll just make sure everyone's muted so the screen totally focuses on me. So open, and then 3rd finger in that 3rd fret. And then what I do is I reach back with my index finger and bar across the two strings I'm going to use, which is strings 2 and 3. And then I play that, and then I just shift that bar right up to that 2nd fret. That's all I do. Now, the glory of it too is when I'm barring on that 1st fret, Do you guys see how I'm just using the first segment of my finger, so I don't even have to worry about that finger crease getting in the way. It's really a nice way to practice that sort of barring technique. And then I just shift it up. And then I play open for the next bar. Now, if that doesn't work for you, if the barring doesn't work, I would suggest using your middle finger on string 2, fret 1, and then pointer finger on string 3, fret 1, because then you can shift your pointer finger up to that second fret, then reach to the second fret on the first string with your middle finger. That would be the alternative I would use. That's an excellent question, Larry. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yep.
To typing, but it's probably easier just to ask you.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm noticing that the like on bars 15 through 18 that you're going from the D note up to the C note on the E, which is kind of a hard reach. Actually, oh no, you know what? It's not bad coming from the 5, but when you go from the 3, no, that still is up by there. Never mind.
Well, and it's a little bit awkward. You're bar 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reasoning for that is because we're actually going to be tossing in a D minor bar chord.
Okay.
In the level 2. So I'll get good and close to the screen so you can watch how I play that. So I've got my index finger in the 5, 5, 5, baby finger for my 8. Or, I mean, you might be able to use your ring finger there. And then I use my pointer finger in the 3 on the second string. And then I come back up. So I'm staying primarily in 5th position. And then shifting back down to 1st position.
Okay. I was wondering if there was more that I wasn't seeing.
Nope, not yet, but there will be more.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured.
Oh, that sounded ominous.
Tina, I found another little easy shortcut for me in that bar. We talking about bar 14?
Bar 14 with the F with the asterisk above it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I'm looking at a D minor chord. Are we looking at level 2?
We're still looking at level 1 right now.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, why don't we flip over to level?
Even so, just a minute. The 5, the 5, 5, and then I slide down to the 3rd fret, and it gives me the C right there. So I'm going from the 5 without having to do that stretch, which is a little tricky for me.
And where are you getting that C? Which?
In the, I can't see my own self right now. Just a minute, I've got you on highlight. In the 3rd fret, I'm borrowing the top 2 strings. The C and I'm getting the C then, and okay, I'm borrowing the E chord and the A chord at the string. E, I
know exactly what's cooking there. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I just have those 2 without having to leap from the 5 to the 8 to the 3, which I found a stretch. Clear as mud. I'm sorry.
No, I got it. Absolutely. I know what you're doing. That's awesome. So,
and it works in level 2 as well, because you want that C chord.
Yeah, absolutely. Nicely done, Shirley.
So easy. And I do this because I don't have a big stretch, so I'm looking for cheating ways to do this. Easy. Well, you say whatever works. I'm looking for whatever works for me. So
that's awesome.
I'll be quiet now.
Oh, Shirley, that's so cool. And that's where we're all different, right? Our stretches our positions that we want to use, they're not necessarily all going to be the same. So just so you guys know what's happening there is Shirley is playing, oops, just see the D minor 7 that I've highlighted there? Okay. She is playing this 8th fret note on the 2nd string. She's playing it on string 1, fret 3. And then that lines her up so that she's already got string 2, fret 3 ready for the next melody note. So she's going like this, up on her 5th fret, and then she's just shifting that little bar down, playing the 1st string, and then the 2nd string. Okay, so again, she's barring on that 5th fret for that D minor 7, and using that as well in level 2. Shifting down. That's awesome. All right, you guys, we got to do level 2 now as we do these reviews and everything. Oh, so cool. All right, so yeah, that totally works out, Shirley. That's awesome. Okay, now what I'm going to do is sit and play through level 2, and let me just take a peek, make sure everyone's okay over here on YouTube. Looks all good. Okay, back to this shared screen here. Or actually, no, I'm not going to share it yet. I'm going to play it, watch my fingers, and we're going to be different, right? And that's totally cool. All right, so here we go. So this version is just like a straight out, really a chord melody arrangement, what we're looking at, and then we'll add more and more to it. So C major 7, 1 and 2 melody. Oh, sorry, I'm going to start over again. C, 2, C major 7, C6, D minor / G, right? To G, and up we go, doing a little pinch there. G7 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D minor / G. And 2 and 3 and 4 and C. 2 and 3 and 4 and C major 7. C6. Special F with the baby finger in the 3rd fret. And 2 and 3 and 4 and bar on your 5th fret. Back up. 1 and 2 and 3. Tons of options for that 5 and 1. Remember how we talked about that G7? So many choices there. D minor / G, G7, C. Get ready for our fancy ending. Ready, here we go. 3rd string open, 2nd string, 3rd fret, A, little wiggle, 3rd string open. All right, so I just kind of talked ourselves through it. There's now what I want to do is share it. Share it. We'll play it again. Talk about things that we've noticed. Now, this version, where Shirley had done the position change, so that's still line 4. And she played the 8th fret there from this bar 14. She played the 8th fret on string 1, fret 3, and then played string 2, fret 3. right? Just drop that bar right down. Super handy, hey? Different ways to think about it. Okay, here we go. Let's play it. Oh, I just gotta move up a little bit so I can see my chords. Ah, there we go. Here we go. I'll count us in. Oh, yeah, Leslie just had a sip of coffee. Everyone, have a sip of coffee or tea, and then we'll dig into the next level. Yeah. All right, let's do this thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C chord and 2, 2, oh, 3, oh, 3, C major 7, C6, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D minor slash G, now to G, pinch on that 5th fret, G7 and 2 and 3 and D minor slash G, 1, 1, 2, 2, A minor 7, 2 and 3rd fret. Next line, 2, C major 7, C6, and 2 and 3 and 4, and F with the asterisk is the F with the baby finger on the 3rd fret, string 1. Oh, I love that sound. Okay, up on that 5th fret now, you guys ready? 5, 5, 8, 5, let it ring. 5, 8, 5, 5, 8, 3 on that 2nd string. 4, back up. 5, 5, 8, 7 and 7. And choices 5 and 1 or 5 and 3. Next line, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C major 7. C6, 3rd fret, B minor slash G, G7, C2. Ready for our fancy ending? Here we go. 3rd string open, 2nd string, 3rd fret, 8th fret, 3rd string open. So I tend to throw it in a little earlier than that. I'll be like, it's so much fun to play. Now, crack my knuckles, get ready for the next level here. Ah, you guys. All right. So what I like to do, remember how I talked about where you've got the F with the asterisk? You can do the descending arpeggio in there. Keep it kind of free, right? So I play my F, my special F there, and then I'll throw in some extra notes there, right? Do a little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or maybe fill it out there, because you've got a whole bar of 8th notes there that you can do as you wish with. I'm just going to peek in the chat here. The fancy ending in written form. Yeah, I got to put that out somewhere. All right, so the fancy frills, I'm going to have to do up a level 3 for you guys with all the fancy pants stuff. Yeah, okay, so fancy pants stuff is going to be coming. I might call it the fancy pants version. Let's take a look at that F with the asterisk there. Okay, so you've got that F chord. You can let it ring out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or maybe you want to do a strum. 1 and 2 and then pluck strings 2, 3, 4, 3. I like to leave the 3rd string as the last note I pluck, because it rings out a little bit as I change positions. And 2 then strings 2, 3, 4, 3. Hear how it ties over into the next bar? It's pretty handy, you know, just to let that harmony go. If you're comfortable with the D minor 7 this way, okay, with the 2-string bar, then I encourage you to try maybe a 3-string bar or a 4-string. Try barring all the way across. Just see what happens. Now, when I say that, I'm going all the way across. I'll stop sharing for a minute and show you guys the way I like to play it, okay? When I do that bar, I go right across. It sounds so pretty, right? When you in low 4, high 4, whichever tuning. But just remember when you do that, see how my finger creases are not sitting on top of those strings? That helps you with that bar. Just remember that checklist, right? Okay. So when I do that bar, so I had my 3rd string ringing because it gives me a chance to make my bar, line it up comfortably, elbows tucked in. Okay. Got my fingers nice and close to that fret. Looks like I'm on top of it, but I'm not actually. I'm just right behind it. And I just strum all my strings. Oh, sorry. 2 and 3. So that's kind of handy, and I'm just taking my time, and then I move back up. And then away I go. So the chords start to fill out. This is where they can get pretty lush. You do as you wish with it though, right? So let me share that again so you can see that. So that's right here, bar 13 where it's highlighted. If you have printed off this copy, I encourage you to pencil in a 5 on those 2 remaining strings and just try it. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. You don't know until you try, right? So what I would probably do to start off with doing a full bar chord is I would try it on bar 13, the first strum there, and then try it again on bar 15. Just those 2 places. That's it. Because in this bar here, it's a bit more active. You wind up having to change your positions because you play here up in that 5th fret. And then we know that you've got to come down and hit that melody note. There are other positions, but we're keeping it just like this for now. You hit that melody note on that 2nd string, 3rd fret. So to keep it so it's not too active at first, just try barring, like I say, beginning of bar 13 and then the beginning of bar 15. So let's try it together. Okay, just this line here. So now I'm doing a full bar there, and I'm just going to do it here. 3 and 4 and full bar. 5, 8, 5, 5, 8. Won't worry about it anywhere else. My finger's already down in that bar. I'm just not going to stress about it. And then I'm going to play my 3 and 4, and now I'm going to get myself lined up for a full bar in that 15th fret 15 because it's the same as bar 13 there. 7 and 7, if you wanted to. That's where you could slide that full bar now up to your 17th fret if you feel like it. So then you've got it sounds pretty, hey? And I'll write out this fancy pants version for you guys, but this is where, if you want to, you can add it in there too, but you don't have to. Maybe you stay with. And Lori, there's another copy on my website with just all the different chords, just a chordal analysis of this song with different options for this G7 chord shape. So I encourage you to check it out. And then watch the other videos from here, because I think it might be helpful for you. So the fingering I use, I just saw that question in the chat. Let me get good and close and show you guys what I do for that fingering. I'll play it, and then I'll stop sharing and I'll play it again. Okay, so you get a close up of my fingers. So bar 16, if I'm playing it as written right now, I just do my 2-string bar. And sometimes I slide up with my pointer finger, and then I come back down. I might play 5 and 1, but if that feels too stretchy, I'll do 5 and 3. Now check this out and see what this feels like for you guys with the version written out this way. Okay, I bar with my pointer finger on my 5th fret, and then sometimes I just bar with my ring finger if it's just 2 strings, because it's just sitting there. It sounds weird. Just try it and see what happens. Now what I'm going to do is stop sharing so you can watch this. This is I picked up this technique playing a lot of power chords on my electric guitars. It's when I started doing this sort of stuff. So options, right? So here I am again on bar 16. Let me know how it feels. Try this. Just bar on your 5th fret with your pointer finger, then bar on your 7th fret with your ring finger. It might work, it might not work. Depends on your hands, right? But you'll see what I do. Even though it's quick, I still do the same thing. I lock myself in. Make sure my finger is good and parallel to that 7th fret. And it's gonna smush down a little bit like that. I didn't realize that I did that. When I'm playing the full-on version though, when I'm doing the full bar chord, this is where I go like this. Right, I do that right across there. So 5, 5, 8, 7, all the way across. And again, there's still other positions that you can play these notes in, but I mean, if we look at all the possibilities, it becomes too much, right? All right, so I'm going to play this version of the song again for you, and I'm going to do the full bar chord shape. And I won't share the music on the screen. I want you to be able to watch my fingers and see what I'm doing there. Okay, so first, I just need a sip of coffee. I'm very serious about this song today. I didn't think I'd be this serious, you guys. I'm like, chop, chop, technique. All right, let's play this. All right, so starting at the beginning, level 2. Here we go. Now I'm going to change a little bit. I might not strum all the time. I might pluck. Okay, so you're going to see me sometimes strum, sometimes pluck. And that's just going to be a full plant pluck. Thumb. See, we've got a thumb and fingers lined up on each string. And I'm not digging, I'm not snapping. Still just a pluck where it goes into my palm of my hand. Okay. All right, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let me start that again. I was thinking too much about what I wanted to show you guys. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 And 2. So, things that will elevate your playing with this. Do you notice how I tried to be quite obvious when I was doing my strum that I strum parallel to my frets. Makes a big difference in that tone being consistent. So in any song you're playing, any chord melody you do, if you strum straight down wherever you want to, doesn't matter, but it keeps that tone the same all the way along. When I say that, you've got a softer tone here. Hear those differences? So strumming straight down will keep a nice consistent sound all the way along when you play, whatever song it is. I mixed up strums with plucks. Okay. So I did that with this song so that I could emphasize different chords, different sounds that I liked, depending on how I felt like playing the song. So strums versus plucks can certainly give you a different feel. And with this one, it's nice to play around with that. It's a way, again, that you can make the song your own, right? Because you don't have to play it the same way that I do. Play it the way that you want to. And then that barring on the 5th fret, if you're comfortable going all the way across, then go for it. If you're not quite feeling it yet, practice it. Bring it in when you feel like it. So I'm going to share this music one more time. And I would love to answer any questions that you guys have about everything that I've shown you so far. Anything you can think of. Or any observations. I know Shirley's had a good time working through the different positioning in that line 4, and it's been really good, Shirley, and I like it when you share your observations. I think it's, again, because we all we think differently, right?
Tina.
Yeah.
I'm catching everything about the strumming or the fretboard and all the fingering on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching your fingers as you're plucking, and I noticed that I'm doing mostly all my plucking with my thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if there's like a rhyme or reason. Like I see you alternating between, I think, these two fingers a lot.
Yeah.
Is it just like, I was just looking at, for instance, the first bar, where you're on the E string, the A string, for the 2 and the open, would you just alternate on that string and then go to the E string and then alternate on that string? Is that what you do? Or do you assign a finger for, you're alternating on each string, right?
I was so hoping that someone would ask me about that. That's awesome, Leslie. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that right now, and I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that you can watch my fingers. All right, so keep in mind that my background is pretty heavy classical guitar. Keep in mind also that when we walk, we use both of our feet, right? We usually don't hop when we get around. That's what I'm doing, is I'm walking my feet. Sometimes I use this finger, depending on what's most convenient, right? That makes the most sense in terms of economy of movement. So what I do, again, I'm just going to look at that first bar. So I strummed. mostly alternating these two guys so that I keep the flow of the melody going. Sorry, if you wanted to just play the melody, you could with primarily these two fingers, just alternating. Alternating can be tricky at first. It is, almost feels like, oh my goodness, sorry. There. It almost feels like that was the cat hospital calling. So in 10 minutes, I'm calling them back, find out how my Nico is. I would go back to level 1 and practice playing the melody with these two fingers if you want to work on alternating. And what I would do actually is, this is what I used to do in order to get that feel, is taking a look at level 2. I'm going to show you what I would do. I would write the word strum over that, and then maybe I start with my middle finger there, write the letter M, I for index, middle, I, M, because our picking hand has an assignment, a letter assignment, P for your thumb. It's got Latin terms, hey, P, I, M, and then ring finger is A. So I would go through and I would label those so that I know what I want to do. This is another step up in your playing skills. If you can start to use your fingers to pluck those melody notes, and maybe you don't do it all the time, but maybe you start to do it a bit, then it frees you. And Leslie, I hope you start doing that. That would be super awesome. Oh, so cool. Thanks for noticing that, Leslie. That's super awesome. Other people may have seen it too. And I let me play it again for you guys so you watch my fingers, okay? All right. Now I'm going to try to just play it the way I want to play it and not think about everything I want to show you guys. So maybe I'll be more focused. Well, hi, Asgard. Yeah. He's lonely right now. Oh, poor kitty. All right, here we go. So you can see I use my thumb sometimes there. Whoops. So I throw in a little flourish at the end. Doesn't have to be the same every time.
So Tina, if the note's on the same string, do you pluck with the same finger or do you alternate as well? It's kind of hard when so you would alternate.
Mm-hmm. So, and this is the other thing that sometimes, so there's two ways that I play. Okay, like there's other ways too, but right now, thinking about it, there's playing a finger picking pattern where you always have your finger assigned to a string. Always. You guys know I'm not all about the rules. Generally, right? You got the finger, but this is different. This is playing a melody. So I don't want you to feel like you got to do this. Right? And keep that finger glued there. This is where you have this freedom. You start walking. Okay? Maybe you'll use that finger there. Maybe you'll use that one, okay? When I go down to this melody note, it makes the most sense for me to use my thumb because my thumb's already there. So I alternate melody regardless of what string I'm on. Just keep it going if you can. Now, a good way to practice this is just with, like I say, the level 1 version of this melody, and also alternating your fingers with the C major scale. Oh, super handy. You can start off by playing one note a few times, right? Just walking back and forth. 4 per note is nice because you get to practice that little walk, right? Then when you feel comfortable, 1 pluck per note, still alternating, which might make you feel like you have to hold your breath while you do it. Just remember to take a breath somewhere near the end of the scale so you don't pass out. I know I used to do that, but you just like, oh, I did it. So take your time. Let's try it right now. Let's do it, okay? We'll alternate our fingers, okay? We'll do 4 plucks per note on the C major scale, just to get the feel of it, okay? Here we go. So C major scale, 4 plucks. Now the 2nd fret. Okay, now we're on our E string open. Okay, now F on that 1st fret. 3rd fret. 1st string open. 2nd fret. 3rd fret. Now I'm just going to stop and check in with you guys. Were you able to do that alternating? Yeah? Okay. Now let's play the scale again. Slowly. Start off with your 1st finger on the 3rd string. Sorry, when I say that, for index finger for picking. 3rd string open. Okay, and now I want you to play the 2nd fret, but I want you to play it with your middle finger to pick. Okay, and now 2nd string open, you're going to pluck it with your index finger. Now you're going to play that 1st fret, pluck it with your middle finger. Go to your 3rd fret, pluck it with your index finger. 1st string open, pluck it with your middle finger. Now you're going to play your 2nd fret with your index finger. 3rd fret with your middle finger. Now I've got my other fingers tucked away so that you can clearly see me alternate. I wouldn't do that normally. I have them all just sitting there ready to go, but sometimes you need to see what I'm doing, right? How did that feel? Alternating like that. Practice it. Do it slow. Slowly build up your speed and you'll feel this freedom come over you where you can just start to play all sorts of different ways. Oh, it's so cool. You guys, I was supposed to give you a new song today. Okay, just give me a bit of time here to show you at least the chord progression from this massive analysis I did of where have all the flowers gone, because Robin came to Kamloops and saw me and she said, will you teach me that song? I'm like, yeah, I'll teach you that song. Come to Kamloops to see me, you're going to learn the song you want to learn. So we're all going to learn Where Have All the Flowers Gone? I thought it would be really nice. It's also in the key of C. So the big thing that I wanted us to do, and I'll put up the music on my website so that you can see it. But what I want us to do is just go through the chords first, okay? So we know what's cooking with the song. So let's at least do that. We've got our C. It's in the key of C. So let's just give it a strum. So C, and then A minor. Then F is the next chord we're going to be using in there. Okay, and then we just go to a straight out G. Okay, now let's go back to our C. Then to A minor. And now D minor. Oh. And now to G. Back to C. A minor. F. Then there's going to be kind of a funky D minor shape that comes in this song, and I'm going to show you guys what I do with it. Look at that, 5 and 5. First string, 5th fret, and then I wind up playing 5th fret on the 3rd string. So you'll see in the chordal analysis, there's a D minor with an asterisk there. That's that, because we wind up doing a little fancy thing there. So I do a pinch there, 5 and 5, strings 1 and 3, just do a pinch for now. And then come down to your regular G. Okay, and now we're going to do F again, and a normal D minor, okay, just a regular one. C, F. We're going to have the tiniest little C chord in the world in there, and it's just going to be strings 2 and 3 open, and then to G, and then to C. You'll keep finding in this song the opportunity, if you want to do a little hammer on. That's kind of tricky at first, but it's worthwhile practicing it. So 3, 5, 3 is what we're going to have on the 2nd string. So just pluck the notes normally. You could play 3, 1st string open, back to 3 instead, but listen to the different tone. It's kind of nice to keep it on that 5th fret if you can. 3, 5, 3. Hear how I did that hammer one? Watch this. I pluck my 3. I put my finger down. I take my time deciding to put it down, and when I put it down, I land it firmly. Oops. Pretty well on its tip. Close to the fret. And when I go down, it's glued. When I say that, what I mean is I don't do this and lift it off, because that stops the sound. The mechanics of making this sound, here's the fret, here's the string. It has to be firmly placed on that fret. If you release that pressure, the sound is going to stop. Okay. So what I want you guys to practice for next week, you'll see, I'll show you my homework. That's going to be going up on the website real quick here. See the D minor with the asterisks? Okay, that's fret 5, strings 1 and 3. And right here, what I've done is I've taken the melody and I've written it out with the chords above it. And I've drawn it all with all the counting, breaking it down into 1/8 notes. So you can go through and read that tablature, and you'll see what we do is we're going to fill in all the parts that ring out with little fancy bits for those chords, but we'll do it a bit at a time. To start off with though, you'll see this 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3 keeps coming back. I encourage you guys to try playing that as a hammer on if you can. And it's not like it's got to be perfect, but it's an interesting technique to try to get in there, to add just a different feel to your music. So Robin, I worked so hard on that song for you. I think we're all going to have a lot of fun playing it. That's going to be so neat. So to start off with, like I say, work through those chords. Sight read the melody, have fun with it. But practice that hammer on. Now I didn't draw that in actually. Let me just. When I find my pencil, what you'll see is a little loop over the 3 to 5, right? It'll be a little line indicating that you can play that as a hammer on. How does it feel though? Has anyone gotten an okay sound out of it yet? Doing that hammer on? Not yet? It feels weird because you lose some power because you're not going from an open string. That can be easier, right? This is a bit different. But watch what I do with my hand. Right? Like I make sure that my hand isn't pulled away like that. It's tucked in. That can help. Sometimes I do a slide too.
Yours sounds very loud when you hammer on. I can't get it to sound loud.
So what you might be doing then, because I used to, when I was learning how to do hammer-ons, do a hammer-on for me, Barb. That's pretty good. Yeah, let me see your fretting hand.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's good. It's good there, yeah. Okay, so when you start, get your pointer finger. Everyone, when you do this hammer-on, get your pointer finger as close to the fret as you can. As close to that third fret as you can. Not back here. Good and close. That gives you a little bit more reach. Okay, try it again, Barb. So that's really quite good. Just so you know too, that 5 is not the biggest emphasized melody note. That's where it's nice to do the hammer on. But I know what's going on there. If you can reach closer to that fret to hammer on, that'll help. Yeah, it's coming. That's pretty good. Have you done a hammer on like that before, from one fret to another?
I haven't. It never. It doesn't really sound loud. Like, yeah, more very soft.
It sounds.
Pretend you got to squish something on that 5th fret.
Can you use the 5th finger? Can you hammer with the 5th finger?
Absolutely. Okay. Do it again, Larry. Yeah, nice. So he's using his baby finger there. Go for it. You got freedom there. Absolutely. Lori, you'd asked a question?
No, I just was telling Barb that hers sounded good from where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
It sounds as good as yours.
There we go. Right on. So this is the thing. We're also really good at kind of doubting ourselves when we're doing these new techniques. Just go for it, you guys. As long as you keep that finger firmly planted down, that volume will come, right? And again, it's not a super emphasized note. That's where it's good to play around with this new technique. So what I need to do now is I need to stop streaming because it's after 10. I've got to call that cat hospital. All right, so for all my folks that have joined me on the YouTube live stream, thank you so much.